Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough of Now or Never. This is from Ryan Lockett Red Raven Games. It is the third in the RZM trilogy. Began with Above and Below, continued with Near and Far, and now here we are at Now or Never. This is a massive production. I'm not even showing everything. There's coin piles and card piles, all sorts of stuff in this Euro-style story game. So I'm going to be playing a character, Zeik. This is one of 4 characters. I'm going to be walking around the land, having adventures, managing my resources, building myself up, leveling style, building up a town. Lots of different elements to this one, but the heart is the Euro worker placement, resource management, as you will see as I go through the playthrough. So there is a story element. The One Stop Co-op Shop Discord community voted that they want to see the story development. You could play this game without the story, just going along and gathering resources, but our community wanted to see what these books held. So this is chapters 1 through 6 that you can play through. I'm going to be playing through Zeik's chapter 1. So there will be spoilers for that story. If you don't want to have any spoilers whatsoever, then I would recommend other playthroughs like Rado and other places. Here we are going to share a story, chapter 1 of Zeik. 3 other characters, so you'll have 3 more opportunities to go through that first chapter. But I want to give a very clear spoiler warning ahead of time. Before I get going, though, I wanted to tell you about the One Stop Co-op Shop. We are a gaming empire. I just mentioned our Discord community, the heart of what we do. So much of our interaction with the community comes through that Discord. They make recommendations, suggestions. As I said, the voting for the kind of playthrough you're seeing today. Lots of other different types of coverage here on the YouTube channel as well as on our streaming channel comes from that community. New games, old games, expansions, reiterations, so variants. They're the ones that make the suggestions, so they're the ones that we are happy to please. Mention the YouTube channel, mention the streaming channel. Go ahead and like the videos that you like and subscribe to help us get more visibility in those algorithms. Also, we have our podcast twice a week. Myself, Peter, Steve, Mike, talking about solo games, cooperative games from every angle. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. So let me go ahead and run through a general overview of what you're doing in Now or Never. This will not be exhaustive. Many of the rules will emerge as I go through the playthrough. So this is your character, and I'm using Zeik. There are 3 other characters to potentially use. You got Marklin and Halia and Namal. If this is the first time you're seeing a Ryan Lockett game, the art is amazing. It's definitely part of the draw. Doing actions, you can either move around the board. So if I wanted to move 2 spaces, I would move this piece over and move 2 spaces, do whatever the game tells me to do, or 4 spaces. That way, there's also a mechanic where if I wanted to move further, it would cost me hearts. So I don't plan on losing all my hearts. It may happen. I'll explain that when it gets there, but generally keep your hearts. Save them for when they're absolutely necessary. 2 other actions that I can take are the specialist. I pay them, so then I would pay the top value and I would flip them over. And once I use them, this specialist would allow me to build, which I'll get to in just a second. This specialist allows me to heal. This would be a full heal. So let's say I am teetering on the edge of death and I paid my character to tend to my wounds. They would help me and give me a little extra bonus as well. So you can, on your turn, you could either take specialist actions or your board actions. I'll be able to acquire more specialists, but that is the action economy in Now or Never. So let me demonstrate the core basic board play. So let's say I had selected movement. I would move my character spaces. If you could make it out that there are rectangular spaces. If I chose to move 2, I would go 1, 2, more if I spent the hearts. Every time I go through a mountain space, that would cost me 1 health. Every time I go through an enemy space, that would cost me 1 health. Dangerous place, this RZM. So let's say I landed here. Now I have some options. First of all, if I had the ability, I'm going to be dealt some quest cards. I'll be able to complete a quest. So if I'm at the Crystal Meteorite and I satisfy the condition at the Crystal Meteorite, I'd complete that quest. I'll show quest a little bit more in detail as we go through the playthrough. That's optional. The core action is to activate the space. Either there'll be something to do on the board or there'll be this token. So in the basic game, no story whatsoever. You would just take the token, take a coin, roll some damage on the D4 that is included in the game, and then you would get the reward on the back. However, we are not doing the basic game. We're doing the story. For the most part, you would consult the letter of the space, or if it was a special space like the Crystal Meteorite, you would consult that too. And you would look at the story. So then Markland has a story. Halia has a story. Namal has a story. And good old Zeik has a story too. You would read the paragraph corresponding to the letter. It would give you a choice, and then you would do the choice. That part is very similar to Above and Below, Near and Far. A little bit of different resolution. I'll show that later. But in terms of that story choice, that's what you're getting here in Now or Never. Let me very quickly show you how combat works. So if I wanted to mosey on over, this nice, juicy level 1 monster right there, they go up to level 9. So then I'll declare combat, and I would take my handy-dandy D4, and I would roll it, and I would consult this chart. So this is the best particular power for here. I could do 3 damage and also spend a mana to do 2 extra damage. So 5 damage out of 7. That's excellent. So then I would mark that somehow, and it would do damage to me. So it would do 2 damage to me. I will lose 2 health. Along the way, I can get some shields and mitigate that. For advanced monsters, you definitely want that. Keep going as long as you have health and as long as you want to defeat the monster. If you run away, you do get experience, but if you beat it, you'll get the experience and a villager. As you saw on the board, a Crystal Meteorite has shattered the land. Every character is playing out some kind of refugee story in their own ways. The goal of the game, and within the context of the story, part of it anyway, is to rebuild your part of the land. So that is represented by these grid of buildings, and every single player is going to have the same grid but laid out a little bit differently. And you're going to have to figure out how best to build your land. So buildings always cost money to build. So let's say I want to start here, cost me 4 coins. I would choose one of these bottom 4 slots. I'd get a shell. I'd look at that shell right there just by building it there, and I would go ahead and place it. This is very important because you can only build subsequent buildings orthogonally. I could now not build any of these other buildings that are not connected to the available space. So you have to be careful. You don't want to build one building and then only leave yourself with a very expensive buildings like this 20, which is you're not going to be able to afford it at the beginning. Plan out your path. As I continue to build buildings, more will become available, and you can kind of sequence out your building that way, and also your engine. They all produce stuff. I'll add to your reserves during production phases. Buildings they're great, but you need villagers in order to populate them. These will come out as you do adventures, as you defeat monsters. You kind of rescue the villagers. Lots of ways to get villagers. They'll go here. They correspond to buildings right there. So basically one villager to one building. Ways to break that rule, but that's the basic rule. One last thing I'll show you before we move on to the playthrough. This is the common board. If I acquire villagers, they're going to come from here. If I want to spend money to gear up, they also come from here. One thing I didn't show you was that each character has personal skill ups. You get experience. That's another way to build up your reserves from here. You can use this exchange to get more money. So if I get some shells, I can get some money. If I get some of these more expensive mats, like I think Bottled Demon, I think that's what the game calls it, gems, lots more money. We're going to proceed through 6 rounds. At the end of each round, there's going to be a production phase to get yourself going. At the end of 6 rounds, one last production phase. Speaking of final production, that's where you get all your point scoring from. So you're going to make a bunch of stuff in that final phase. You're going to turn them into coins. Coins are points. You're going to get points from where you are in the reputation track. That comes from the story mode. You can add points for how many buildings you've built, how many completed rows. Get points from that. You get points from how many sets of villagers you have completed. If you have a full set of the 4 different types of villagers, then you're going to get some points. You're going to get points from completed story cards. And there's different types of story cards, advanced ones and basic ones worth more and less points. All sorts of other ways in which points are available. You're going to add them all up, and whoever has the high score is the winner of Now or Never. I am going to play the solo mode. This is a bot which will provide opposition. It's very simple, very light. Every time I go, it will flip a card and do something to the board, deny me a resource, kill a monster, etc. So I just have to navigate myself through the opposition that the bot gives me, and then I need to end with a score of 100 points. Future games, I need to beat that high score in order to account for a victory. So very simple. The solo mode plays very similar to the multiplayer, just with bot opposition. Here's the introduction for the character Zeik. 20 years ago, the crystal meteorite landed on the waste of Arzium, sending swarms of monsters across the desert to destroy your ancestral home. They left the monument unlivable, and its inhabitants became refugees, waiting for the chance to return. You were born the next night, your parents hiding from the monsters in a cave just outside the monument. At the moment of your birth, a soothsayer, also taking refuge in a cave, spoke this prophecy, or perhaps it was a curse. When the monsters weaken, you will weaken with them. When the monument stands again, you must travel to a place that came from far beyond it, or else be buried in the ground beneath it. Now the monsters are weakening, and a strange patch of stone has appeared in your left arm, a mark of your curse. As monsters' numbers dwindle, you can feel your doom fast approaching. Many wanderers have arrived at the monument, ready to rebuild the city. You did not believe you could stop them, so instead you'll help them, gathering people from all across the land to return, rebuild, and share their knowledge. You dare not hope, but maybe, just maybe, one of these new villagers will know the secret to escaping your terrible fate. So let's begin the playthrough for Now or Never. Here is the market where I can purchase additional specialists. These are 2 specialists that I can get along the way in the chapter book, which was, I set them out during setup. So I can purchase one for double the price, and I acquire it, would use it, and then it would be available to me in the next turn. So I want to build. My base action, I could build with my base specialist for 5 coins, not get anything extra. Get out of here. Let's do somebody better. So I'm going to spend 8 coins on here, and I'm going to get a build action and an experience. So let's go ahead and spend my 8 coins. I've acquired this builder, and I'm going to use them, and I'm going to have that experience in my bank. The building that I am going to build is this one. I like starting with this one because every other building I build is a 1 coin discount for the low price of 3 coins. So I'm going to spend my 3 coins, and so that gives you that power, and I get a knowledge. So as part of my quest setup, I pulled 8 quests, or 8 quest cards. I kept 4 of them. This is the artifact quest that I kept. They always cost 2 book, and it gives me an ongoing power. I love this power. So I'm going to just go for it right away. And one way that I want to help myself is get the book from the tile. Let's go ahead and put the tile here. I'm going to give myself a shell. This is a little bit sloppy over there. And also give myself a knowledge. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the Automobot turn. Roll a die. 1 and 2, either claim the next order token or draw a quest card from each pile with a roll of 3 or 4. Let's go ahead and roll that. It is a 4. So it's going to take 3 cards, and it is going to put it on its own board that denies me the ability to complete those quests. All right, for my next turn, I am going to move 3. Moving 3 consists of going through some mountains. Ugh, oh no! Ow! Ow! So I took 2 damage for going traveling through the mountains, and I'm at the crystal meteorite. At the crystal meteorite, I have a quest. So I'm going to lose 3 more health. That was quite expensive. I'm down from 13 to 8 health. But I have been able to acquire my second book, which is really, really important for completing another quest. Now I have an option. I could either roll the die and get take that much damage and get a crystal and an experience, but we don't need that. We are going to do the story. Last chance on spoiler warning, people. I'm going to read from the book, so you have been warned. I'm spoiling Zeik's Chapter 1. Hiding in the crimson glare of the crystal, you slink closer to the base of the meteorite, the nest of the monsters whose fate is tied so closely to your own. Something shifts behind you and you whirl around, preparing for an attack. Please, don't hurt me, whatever you are, says a told folk traveler. I've heard there's much treasure in the meteorite. We'll both be safer if we work together. Do I join the toad to search for the meteorite treasure, skill 6, or examine the petrified monsters nearby, skill 4? So the way that story resolution works is that you would choose one of your outcomes, and you cannot read the paragraph or the rewards. You can only see how hard it is. So right now my choice is between a skill 6 and a skill 4 roll. Let's go for the skill 6. Generally the higher rolls are the more noble choice, so to speak. So I'm going to roll. I got myself a 3, which is not too shabby. Now I determine how many hearts I want to spend. I could go from 8 to 5, which would be really painful, and that would fulfill the skill roll, or I could spend even more hearts and get the improved bonus. So just like in near and far and above and below, if you exceed the total by 2, you'll be getting an extra thing. Let's go ahead and do an extra thing. I have a resource there to heal. This would heal me to full, so let's just empty the holster there. But actually, before I take that full amount of damage, I'm going to purchase toughness. I could do this basically at any time. Take 1 fewer damage for searching stories. Oh yeah, that's happening. I'm going to spend my experience, and instead of losing all that health, I lose 1 less for a total of 4. Within the meteorite is a horrifying palace to the bizarre. "We should not have come here," croaks the toad companion, gawking at a giant glass tube filled with tentacled eyeballs. On the ground lies a prisoner, their hands and legs trapped in crystal, whom you release and lead safely out of the meteorite. So my reward is +1 reputation. So obviously I would get points the better reputation I have. That's excellent. I also get 1 villager, the person that I saved. Now normally you would get this search token and you would have +1 coin production. However, when you gain a villager, they tend to replace these tokens. So that's actually pretty good. Because I want a crystal. Crystals are really, really good. They are the most rare and expensive, so getting one of these early is nice. I have a villager, and I have a house for them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the villager there. If I did not have a house, then they would go on my board and wouldn't do anything, or wouldn't produce anything. In addition, I got the reward upgraded, which was another crystal. So now I have a crystal in the bank. Great. It is now the bot's turn. Attack! Whoa! So the bot is going to slowly defeat the lower level monsters as a way of pushing me towards the higher level monsters. So it is going to defeat this one. Doesn't get anything else besides the villager. And it gets villagers in order of rarity of material. So it's going to take this villager and it is going to claim it. So I cannot claim it. This only gets refilled when this is completely empty. I could also spend experience to cycle through to see if I need to complete a set or something like that. But for the most part, I'm stuck with whatever is on the offer. All right, on with my turn. I'm going to spend my 2 movement to move through this space. Ow! Another damage. And end up at the Hermit's Hut. I'm going to complete another quest, so which will cost me another health. So that brings me down to 2 already. Ow! That is so bad. But I got a point that is good for the end of the game, and you search through a half-buried hovercraft in the sand for a shell. Just so you see that represented visually, here I am with 2 health, and I have 1 shell, which gives me 2. If I can get a 3rd shell, that would give me enough for 5 coins. Coins are at a very much a premium in this game, so the beginning of the game really is about building up that engine and getting lots of stuff. So now that I am at the Hermit's Hut, I could use the space here. I'm going to get the conch shell and 4 hearts, so that's nice. It could last a little bit longer without needing that heal. This is the big thing that I wanted, though, right there. That power allows me to swap 2 positions in this grid. So you see I bought the discount token right there, but it left me with some expensive buildings in the way. Instead of that, though, I'm going to remove this building right here. So that will produce me some shell at the end of the turn. It's also nice and cheap. It gives me access to the rest of the board inside here. So hopefully that's apparent and clear why I did that. The bot's turn. Attack. If the bot already attacked, discard this and redraw. Search. The bot claims a search token closest to your hero. I don't like that. So that denies me the opportunity at a storybook adventure, but I don't think I was going back in the mountains anytime soon anyway. Okay, for my next action, I'm actually going to use this. I am going to spend my 5 coins and spend another 3 coins, making 8 total. and I will buy this building that I put myself into position to buy, which opens up a lot of cheap options. Feeling really good about my building. Gonna get a conch shell at production, and I get a conch shell right now. I'm going to immediately spend that 3 conch shells that I got, get 5 coins because I don't like being broke. That was my action. Here's the bot. Search. Takes another search token away from me, the closest one. I'm going to take my last move, which is a move of 4 potentially, but I don't need that much. So I'm going to go here, which costs me a health. I'm down to 5. 2, 3, that gets me to the Scholar's Tower. That has a search token because there's a letter associated with this. So the first things first, I'm going to turn in my artifact quest. I was able to get that done pretty easy. So then for the low price of 2 knowledge, which I obtained, I now have this ongoing skill. I could spend a mana to get a conch shell and 2 experience, once per season. Beautiful. I have tucked the card into here. I'm going to use one of my mana to get these beautiful things. So we're going to get 1 shell. I have a feeling we're going to get lots of shells this game. And 2 experience. The 2 experience I'm going to use right away on Climbing Claws. Ignore damage from mountains. I can now travel a lot more freely. No more damage from mountains. And also, I have a general power which I should be using every round. Pay 1 mana to draw a quest card once per season. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to draw from the artifact deck. The artifact deck has some good stuff, and I'm getting some knowledge. For the low cost of 2 knowledge, I can do this ongoing power to get villagers. Spend my resources for that. That's definitely getting done. Let's have an adventure. Entry C. The Toadfolk Wanderer examines a nest of fire snails beneath an abandoned mining robot. Do you care for a snack? He offers. I love fire snails, you respond, grabbing a handful. Do I leave the Toadfolk and explore a nearby mine, or trade with the Toadfolk Wanderer? I sort of like my health situation. It's at 5. I can go down to 1. So I think I could do skill 6 without getting the bonus and still be okay. Yes! So we got 4 on the die. That's perfect. So then I would spend my 4 down to 1 and get the improved bonus, making 8 total. You find a traveler injured and half encased in snail slime. +1 reputation, +1 villager, +1 shell, +1 coin. Fantastic. So here is the reputation that I'm going to gain. And I'm also going to gain this tool over here just for balance sake because I'm getting a lot of shells. I happen to have built another building, so I have housing for this character right there. That's really nice. And I get a shell and a coin. All right, bot's turn. Recruit specialist. How that works is going to take the leftmost specialist on the board and exhausted. Everything moves over and we get a new one, which is another experience specialist, which are okay. And it will flip it. So on the next round, I can use it if I want to. So the bot would get, or the opponent would theoretically get this tax for using someone else's specialist, but it's just the bot. So I have the access to use this specialist, which is the way to buy items. Don't know if I'm going to buy a lot of items this game because my experience is good, but that's available in case I want it. So for my last action, I have a choice. So one thing I did not show about the specialist is this action down here. I could use the specialist anytime to gain 2 hearts or a coin. They kind of go to minor work for me. That's an option. I got my 5 coins from having the conch shell. So I'm going to use this to do my full heal and get an experience. Yeah, I managed that perfectly to down to 1 to 13. Got the full effect. I love that. And an experience to boot. All right, so the bot is going to pull. They're going to exhaust a specialist. All of my specialists are exhausted, so they exhaust their own specialist. So I can't use it anymore, but I wasn't going to. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and do the production phase now that I have passed turn. So I get, check my buildings. I get 1 shell. Check my villagers. I get 1 gem and 1 tool from the lady. I get my mana back. I do not get my health back, but I had healed, so I don't need any health. Going to put those, reset those action tokens. Going to refresh all of my specialists and proceed to round 2. I won't do that whole setup every single time, but I want to illustrate production phase on round 2. All right, round 2, upkeep stuff. Let's spend a mana for my Scholar's Tower power, the Arzian Scroll. And I am going to get another shell and 2 more experience. I'm going to spend this 2 experience immediately, and I'm going to get Earth Slam. I have a feeling I'm going to beat a monster. So this does 4 damage when I roll a 4, because I'm going to replace this terrible power. And I can spend a mana if I want to do 2 more damage. So it's a nice way to upgrade. I'm getting a lot of experience. I have a feeling I'm going to be able to level this up. I'm going to take my shells, reduce them back by 3. I'm going to get myself 5 coins. I'm going to spend another mana on my base power. We are going to draw a card, which will be a quest at the Ublo Tower. Someone lost a bag, spent 2 hearts. I guess I'm digging through, and I get to keep 3 coins for myself. Hopefully I return that bag and then just take the money that was in there. Ublo Tower is a little bit more inland, so when I get to that, I will show you. All right, so let us spend 4 coins to activate this gentleman right there. I will get another experience and be able to build a building. Let's go ahead and build this one. More engine building, more production. I will get 2 coins per turn. This is a discount, so I'll spend 2. What this means, no final production. That will matter in the very last round of the game. So any production that you get will be towards the points, but this one won't generate that. That's why it's so cheap. But that gets me another shell. The bot goes. It is search. It will discard the closest spell to story token to me, which I was actually going to go there. Oh well. All right, for my next movement, I'm going to move 2. So I've moved my token down on my board. It's right down there. But take my word for it. Going to move down there. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I no longer take damage from mountains. That's very nice. And I'm going to enjoy myself a story, letter E. Hovering in the air is a lump of metal the size of a large bowl. It repeats an ear-piercing beep. Beep, boop, boop, as it floats along, its arms dangling like tangled vines. I know how you feel, you say, but you're not supposed to say it out loud. Do I stop the beeping and befriend the robot? Or attack the robot and scrap it? So I am super nice. I'm going to help it. I'm also at full health, so why not? Let's go ahead and roll. That is a 1. Whoa. It's a skill 6, and I do not feel like losing all of that health, so we're just going to lose 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The robot follows you, helping to gather materials. Rewards, +3 reputation. Gain the robot Grelium T28 and place it in a specialist slot. I did have that selected at the beginning of the game. This is a unique robot for this adventure. I did not know that was going to happen, or else I wouldn't have bought that extra, that builder. Oh well. So this one will build at a cheaper rate and get me a gem. That's really nice. And I could use that on another turn. I also get 3 rep. Wow, pretty good. And this is the first time this has happened, but I do get to keep this and will generate me coins every round. So the solo bot goes attack first time. That's a shame. Second time it was interrupted something I was going to do. It is going to destroy this creature. In order of operations, it will take the tool, leaving me with 2 conch shells. I actually don't mind that too much. All right, next action, I'm going to use my action move 3, but I'm only going to move 2, into the monument home base. So that is because I have a quest, getting done a lot of my quests. Spend an experience on a laser drill. Repair drill the mine deep into the monument, and I get to mine some coins. So you'll see that when I go back to my player board, I will get 1 coin for production phase. I also get a coin and 4 health back. I am back up to 12, 1 below max. This means I will get the first player token, but I always go before the bot, so don't worry about that. Bot goes, exhaust specialist. The bot exhausts their left small specialist. That would be the newly acquired one right there. If I wanted an item, can't have it. Kind of broke anyway. All right, there goes that 1 experience to pay for that quest. My next action just got to 4. Just got to 4. Ho! I'm going to use my bot right away. And we are going to go ahead and cover that. So I spent my 4. Going to get my third crystal right there from the bot. And we are going to buy this one for free. Remember, I have a 1 coin discount. That will get me a book. I like that. And a shell. I like all that. And my first row is completed. I do not get any victory points for completing this row, but I wanted the shell. Subsequent levels, I'll get victory points if I fill those rows. The bot goes, roll a die, see what happens. I get a 4. The bot is going to draw a quest from the 3 piles. So these are special orders. Just so you know, this doesn't have anything to do with the game now, but I could spend some resources to get like a massive amount of coins and points. I'll go ahead and shuffle that off camera. But this card can start to eat away at this pile. If I rolled a 1 or a 2, instead it is eating away at the quest pile. All right, time to make some money. So we have these 3 gems. I'm going to sell these 3 gems. According to the market, the 3 gems are worth 11. Hoo-hoo. About time. Get some money going in here, but I'm going to spend it right away. So I'm going to buy a specialist. Specialist I'm going to buy is this experience specialist. Remember, I have to pay double the amount in order to be able to acquire it and use it. Have to replace one of my people. I already have 2 builders. I do not need the beginner 3rd builder. Get out of here. So then I'm going to use that, and I'm going to get 2 more experience. Which I'm going to spend right away on this rock shield. So for 1 mana, I could defend 2, and I could do that as long as I have mana each attack phase. So I don't plan on fighting too much, but I'm going to fight next turn, and this will give me a little bit of protection as I need it. All right, the bot goes. It will do the search thing and get rid of yet another token for me. I don't like that. All right, next round, next turn, I'm going to use my last movement of the round, and I'm going to go here. We're going to do some battle because I want a villager. All right, so this is one of the player aids. In the back is a tracker with which you can track monster stuff. I'm going to go ahead and just put an experience over there. It has 8 points of health, and I'm going to do the best I can. Let's roll on my chart. There we go, 2. I do 3 damage. So it is down to 5, and it does 3 damage. It would do 3 damage to me, but I am going to use my rock shield and reduce it by 1. If you're wondering why I was at full, I remembered this power. Take 1 fewer damage during his stories. I know, a little bit of a retcon, but didn't affect anything. So just went on that. All right, so if I get a 1 or a 4, I will beat this thing. A 4! Sweet! So that is a 4, and I spend my last mana to make that 2. For the special Earth Slam power. So it has 5 hit points. It is dead, Jim. So as you can see, then the reward is 1 villager and an experience. And I only have 1 choice for that. But the good thing is that I have a house for them. And I don't know if I explained this in great detail when I was doing the rules explanation. In order to get this 5 points, if you could see these little symbols over there, you have to get a full set of these. So there was 1 more that I would want that gives me bottle demon stuff. Bottle demon or so something. So if I get that 4, that set here, then I would be able to do it. Now I only have room for 4 because I didn't get one of these special tiles that has the bed in it. The bed gives me extra space, so I'd have extra villagers. Only 4. Only the bottle demon is earmarked for that space. And oh yeah, it did hit me, and I did not have mana to block. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that 3 damage. So the bot's turn, recruit specialist. Going to recruit the leftmost specialist and exhaust it. So it will have that for next turn. And it is going to, I'll pull again, more healing. I have lots, 2 healings, an experienced person, and a builder. I'm good on specialist, though. I don't think I have to worry about this too much. For my next action, I'm actually going to go to the bot's specialist. And I'm going to use their builder. I'm going to pay 5 coins and then another 6 for the 1 coin discount for building. And I'm going to build this one. Reason being, I get another tool. at the beginning of next round. I'll start with the next row. You can build as long as it's connected to the main area, so I couldn't like build all over there, but I can build up if I really wanted to. There's a reason I want to build here. Hopefully that'll become apparent a little bit later in the game. And hey, check that out just in time. It exhaust specialist. It exhausts its own specialist. So good thing I got there. So that is not a problem at all. Also, as part of that, it's going to discard this gear. That is part of the action. Get some new gear. Another big hit, 5, and restore 1 mana. That's pretty nice. I might do that because my character uses a lot of mana. And Mystic Book, draw 1 quest when you defeat a monster. What? That's both pretty nice. I wasn't going to look at that, but I might do that with the new gear that came out. So last action for the turn, I'm completely broke. Can't use this thing, don't have any use for it anyway. I get to spend, use it, and get either 2 hearts or a coin. I will get the coin because coins are good, and I think I can manage my health effectively other ways. And the last bot card, nuts to you, bot. It exhausts my specialist. They're all exhausted. It exhausts its specialist. They're all exhausted. Really squeeze that turn for as much juice as I could. All right, so production phase, I'll go in order. I get 1, 2 shells. I get 1, 2 tools. I get 1 gem. And I get 1, 2, 3 coins. 4 coins for this power over there. I like that. All right, here we go, beginning of round 3. Let's build. But first, we got to get some cashola. So for 2 tools and a shell, which is why I did that when I did. So we go from 4 to 0 on tools, and we're going to go from 5 to 3 on shells. That gets me 14 coins. And then I'm going to spend 3 more shells to get 19 coins. Yeah, buddy. So there is my 19 coins right there. We're going to spend 4 of those immediately and get this specialist going right there. Look at that. My robot is going to help me build. We're going to go gemtastic over there. So then we get 1 from the build, and we get this building for 12, which is 11 with the discount. So that was 11. I get 4 left from my 15 that I had. And let's go ahead and get that. I'm going to put that right there. And we're going to get a book, my second book that I need for my artifact quest. Let's go ahead and pull from the bot deck, search, Merciless, with the taking of my search tokens. All right, for my next action, I am going to buy one of those gear. So I'm going to use that specialist right there. This means that I can buy from the shop. And I'm going to pay 1 to the market. Let's pay that 1 and an additional 3 for a total for Vampire Knife. 5 damage, restore 1 mana. Upon rolling that number, we're going to go ahead and replace 2 right there. So while we are here, let's go ahead and spend 1 mana and get a shell and 2 experience. But I'm going to spend that 2 experience immediately. And a third to buy rock shards. 3 experience. This one would deal 7 damage and put up a shield. Let's go ahead and replace that. I have now replaced most of my dinky powers with better ones. Oh, bot, you are a stinker. All right, my first movement of the turn. So I cannot move 0. Games are explicit. The game rules are explicit. Can't just sit there and farm the easier monsters. So I don't want to anyway. So that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and move 3. I'm going to move at least 1. I'm going to 1. Remember, I can pass through mountains without getting damaged. Very key. 2, 3. We're going to go after this 4 and try to get those 2 villagers rescued. So this one has 12 health. I'm going to go ahead and use a coin to indicate that, and let us get busy rolling with our D4. First shot is a 3. Yes! The big hit, 7 damage. Beautiful. So that is down to 5, and I block 1. So it would ordinarily hit me for 5. Now it hit me for 4, and I'm going to use my rock shield to reduce it all the way down to 2. So you see how important it is to gear up before you fight even these mid-level monsters. How sweet would it be if I could just take this thing out? And I think I would be able to. Now I want to roll a 2. I rolled a 1. That's okay. So then it would be 3 damage. I'd spend a mana to do the last 2, and that kills it. It still does damage to me, but I'm going to use my last mana to block it. So that goes from 7. It would be 3 damage down to 4. Not a problem. I defeated it, no experience, but as a reward, I get 2 villagers. All right, so I'm at least going to get this one, and it's going to be in the second row over there when I go back to the building, and then I get to pick the one of these. This is brand new, going to refill the roll. Tool, nope. Shell, nope. Tool, nope. Come on. Tool, oh man. That's what? No, get out of here. And yes! Oh my god, the last one. Bottle Demon. The Bottle Demon completes my set, and now I can score the 5 points, and I've begun work on the second row of villagers. The bot goes, it exhausts a specialist, it exhausts their specialist, which is the healer. That is not bad. So just to let everybody know, I am building up to a builder phase. And so I hope that the bot does not exhaust my specialist. I'm going to take one chance at it. Hopefully it doesn't happen. So we're going to go to Ublo Tower over here. At Ublo Tower, I spend 2 health. No! Down to 2. And I search and I gain 3 gold. So, or 3 coins or whatever the currency is called. So I got a little bit of a pad to spare. I will use the action because I'm at 2. I'm going to go down to 1, familiar 1 health, and get myself another tool. The bot goes, it is going to recruit a specialist. It's going to recruit this one. It's going to replace the leftmost available, which is this one. It's another starter. Get out of here. Don't need the starters. We're going to go ahead and put that there and exhaust it. And then refill. Okay, another builder. A builder that gives health. I may need that, especially considering my current condition. Now I get to take my build action. I'm going to go ahead and turn that over. We're going to spend 8 total. So let's go ahead and spend 8 total on that. 4 on the specialist. 3 down to 2 on this building. Gets me a knowledge and a +1 movement. Had to spend 2 extra to build there because of this is the space that was available, which is okay by me. So 8 total, I get that building. Just in time, got the exhaust specialist. It did not rob me of the ability to build because I planned all that out. So it is discarded with no effect. All right, so production phase. We got 1, 2, 3 shells right there. We got 1, 2 tools. We got 1, 2 gems, which is really nice. Right there, a little bit out of order, but that's okay. 1 bottle demon. And 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. All right, new round, round 4, opening round conversions. So now I can finally hit this thing because that's 1 of each. I got my bottle demons. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is 12 coins. Beautiful. And then for 3 gems and for 3 conch shells, that is 11 and 5 respectively. So 16 and 12 is 28 coins. Now that's an engine builder, baby. Here we are, 28 coins. So let's use our mana. We got 1 mana right there for a shell and 2 experience. That 2 experience is going to get spent right away on my last upgrade, Geode Bomb. 2 experience, level 3 power, 7 hit and a coin when I hit it. Woohoo! So I could continue to upgrade this if I see something good in the gear slots, but I'm happy with what I got over there. I'm cool. Also going to spend a second mana on my base power. Pay 1 mana to draw a card from a deck. I'm going to draw from the advanced deck this time. I'm in the latter half of the game. And this is the deck where the end game scoring stuff comes. I get to, I would have to spend 2 experience. And if I spend that 2 experience and have at least 5 unspent experience, or 2 book, I should say, and have 5 unspent experience, I get 10 points. So that is something I'm definitely going to work on. As my first action for the turn, I'm not going to use my own healer. I'm going to use the bot's healer. So then it is a slightly cheaper 4, and I get my 2 mana back that I just used. So let's get that 2 mana back. Let's go back to 13 at the low cost of 4 coins. And check that out. Exhaust Specialist. The bot exhausts your leftmost specialist if available. Good thing I got that heal out of the way. It does, though, claim one of these villagers, which does work out for me because I want to clear that out and get better ones. All right, let's get a move on. I'm going to spend 2 movement, my lowest movement. And before the bot gets rid of that story, I'm going to go ahead and have an adventure at J. Fragrant pine needles crunch under your feet. The early morning rain has awakened all the smells of the forest. A peaceful moment calms your troubled soul just a little. Then a sharp cry fills the air and you flinch. Ah! You follow the sound to an encampment of hogfolk. They've trapped a magnificent boar, clasping in its chains. Yes, boars scream like women. Do I A, free the boar, or B, trade supplies with the hogfolk trappers? This time I'm actually going to go with the lower skill, skill 5, because like I said, I haven't read it, but it just made a scream, and I think freeing the boar might be not be so good. So let's go ahead and talk to the hogsfolk and let the boar stay trapped. That is a 3. Because I have full health, I'm going to go spend 2, or spend 1 less because of one of these powers, and then spend the 2. So for 3 total, I get the pass skill and the bonus. The boar snorts and struggles against his chains as you converse with the hunters. Sucker! I gain 1 reputation, 1 shell, and 4 coins. In addition, as a bonus, I get 2 quest cards, which is totally sweet. Hopefully I can do them. So I'm going to pull from the ancient for the endgame deck and the regular deck. Hermit's Hut and Tower of Miners, which are both on the west side of the board. Tower of Miners, spend 2 hearts to get a crystal. That's pretty good. And Hermit's Hut, have at least 4 villagers that produce shells. I think I could do that. I don't know if I'm going to get to all this stuff. Going to be really important to note that let's say I did go to the Hermit's Hut and I have these 2 quests to turn in. First of all, this is not easy, getting those books. Second of all, you can only do 1 quest at a place at a time. So if I wanted to do both these quests, I'd have to go, leave, and come back again. So don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off, but we'll see. Also, I got another one of these, so I'll produce another coin at the production phase. The bot attacks. It is going to attack the level 3. We'll get rid of one of those, but I think I'm past dealing with those piddly monsters. On to bigger things. It does, though, claim one of these villagers, which does work out for me because I want to clear that out and get better ones. All right, for my next action, I'm going to use my second move, which is 3, but I'm only going to go 1. I'm going to go to the City of Spirits, and I'm going to cash in at the City of Spirits. I'm going to spend that 2 book right there. And I get this power. For a book and 2 mana, I get a villager. Outstanding. So let's use that power right now. I set up, I was able to use it. So then I'm going to spend a book and 2 mana. I'm going to grab a villager from the sideboard. I'm going to house them over there to get my second set going. But that's not all. Then at the City of Spirits, I could do this action. I could spend 2 hearts to get a bottle demon and a coin. So let's go ahead and do just that. So the first card the bot pulls is the attack, but that's only first time. It says that the bot already attacked, discard, and redraw. And that is exhaust its own specialist, the leftmost one. Don't need you. That's awesome. I got some riches. Let's go ahead and spend them. So we got 4 coins over there. Which will get me 1 precious gem. And I'm going to spend 10, so that's 14 total, on this building. Right there, I like being able to produce gems, and placing it there will get me a tool. So the rules specifically say, just as long as it's adjacent, it's fine. I could leave spaces for buildings a little bit later. The bot exhausts their leftmost specialist. Have a party. More purchases. Let's go ahead and spend another 4 on that helper. And I have myself 21 total, so 4 for that. And 17 for this. Remember, discount that is 18. So -1 is 17. This is end game scoring right there. So I like getting the book, of course. Always have use for books. This will be 4 per adjacent building that produces. That's why I built it this way. Produce, 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 produce. Got the maximum 16 points out of that. Bam! The bot is up to shenanigans again. Search. Bye-bye. Once again, I have the set 1 of each. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got the book at 1, which would get me 12 coins. And I'm going to spend 4 of those coins on Mistress over here. Going to get me 2 experience. Remember, that is now one of my end game things, is to have 5 experience when I go back there. And a tool. The bot is merciless with search tokens. All right, so this is fun. I'm going to spend another action. I'm actually going to acquire this specialist that I had in mind. So it is a builder specialist, and I get 3 health when I use it. I use it immediately, so that would be 8, and I get to discard a used specialist. So kind of a little bit of extra juice in my actions. So that is 8 coins and 3 health. Bring me up to 10. 16 total, 8 for the specialist and 8 for the bottle imp and knowledge building, which I'm going to put here. So between that and the space right there, 1, 2, I get to get 2 books. Outstanding. The replacement is the exact same specialist. That's okay. And it's going to recruit a specialist. It's going to recruit this one and get rid of this last starter. It is going to place it in its left. We're going to slide these over. And you've seen basically all the specialists at this point. Another house, but this time you get a bottle demon out of it. So let's go ahead for my last action. Try to take down a level 5 monster. There's the monster. It has 13 hit points. It's going to deal 5 damage to me. But I have a couple of mana for that. I should be able to take it out in 2 hits. And if I need 3, I think I have some resources for that too. 2. Ooh, vampire knife. So I deal some 5 damage to it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. And also restore 1 mana, which we're going to use right now to block 2 of that. So then it would take me down from 10 to 7. So that can happen 2 more times and I'll beat it. I'm happy with that. See what happens. Tempting fate. All right, so another 5, bringing it down to 3. Same thing. I'm going to go down from 7 to 4, and it might just take me down to 1 if I roll another 2. As a matter of fact, it is going to take me down to 1. So that I'm perfectly happy with that. A 3, I deal 7 damage to it. I might have gotten a coin if I'd have rolled a 1. Didn't get a coin. I beat it, but it is down to the familiar 1 hit point. I'm really good at that. So for beating that monster, I get 2 villagers and an experience. There's my experience. I now have 5 on the board, and I have 2 villagers. I took 2 that I was kind of needed building that set. I don't know if I'm going to complete both of these sets, but I'm hoping to finish at least 1. So this is the last card of the bot deck. You're going to see every card when you play the bots. So the bot is not going to surprise you. It's just a question of which order the cards come in. It's the one that says roll a die. Let's go ahead and roll that die. It is a 4. So once again, it is going to take the top 3 of the decks and discard them. Wow, I have no resources left, but I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay, so let's do coins. 1, 2, 3, 5 coins. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4 tools. 1, 2 bottle imps. 1, 2, 3 gems. New round, round 5. First things first, conversions. So we're going to do this conversion twice. So we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that will get me a total of 24. And then we're going to do this conversion. We're going to go ahead and move 2 of those over here and 1 down there. That is a total of 31 coins. Beautiful. I'm going to hold off on these 2 powers for now. I want to see how the board develops first. In the meantime, let's get to building. So we're going to go ahead and turn over that one. That's going to net me 4. This is 6, or this will be 2, which will make 6. I'm going to put it here, which makes 9 total. So that is this 10. I'm going to make some change. And now I have these 2 beds for here. So like if I wanted to put the villagers up here, I could put 3 of them because I got the 2 beds and the building. And it also opens up this tile, which is a nice end game point scoring for knowledge buildings. All right, bot goes, it attacks, and I actually was kind of hoping for that because it is going to take out this low level monster and claim this villager, which is what I wanted because I want a whole new slate of villagers without having to spend experience for them. So let's see. Ooh, finally. Got my bottled imp. Written all over it. Shell, not too bad. Bottle imp. Okay. Gem person. Oh yeah, that's very essential for at least that second set. A shell person and a shell person. All right, I'm feeling good about that. So we're going to spend 2 of these mana and a book to gain a villager. That villager is going to be the coveted gem person. Was waiting for that. You fell into my trap. I'm going to spend 4 mana once again on this lady to heal to full and get 2 mana back. Man, that feels like cheating. Bot goes. We got the roll a die card a little bit early this time. 2, it actually is going to discard the top of this order stack. No, that's really nice. All right, so let's have what will probably be the last adventure of the game. There are only 1, 2, 3 story tokens left, and there are 3 search cards in the deck, and we'll just wipe those out. So let's go ahead and claim our last search token, letter K. Using the action, of course. You wander the halls of a casino, nervously eyeing the decayed luxury of rusted ironwork and frayed carpets. A wealthy hog from the south has won a fortune on the gambling floor. He brays in a light, brrrs, as his winnings are poured before him. Do you work in the casino docking bay or beg the hogfolk gambler for a charitable donation? I don't like the word beg. Let's just do that straight up. Work for the casino. That is a grand total of 1. So that was skill 6, grand total of 1. So I have to spend 5. Minus 1 for my power is 4. So let's go down to 9. I'm not going to go ahead and spend the bonus 2. I hope that the bonus isn't too good. You descend into the lower levels of the casino to haul crates from the airships. Some of the dock workers used to live at the monument, and you convinced them to return. You ask, but none of them seem to know anything about prophecies or curses. +1 reputation, +1 villager, yeah! The bonus would have been a bottled demon. I could live without that. I was hoping for +2 reputation to be able to get that extra victory point, but that's okay. But that's the more important thing. I get my bottle demon villager. And that completes my second set. Right on cue, the bot goes and discards that search token. All right, now that I've made a little room in my health pool, we're going to go ahead and use this one. That's a build action and some health. +3, which is crucial for the way the math works out, up to 12. Let me go ahead and take 19 total coins. 19 total coins because this is 13. Plus the 4 is 17. Plus this 2 makes 19. That is more point scoring. So then it gives me 3 points per book that I have. Wasn't able to get all 4, but I was happy with that placement, and I have points for this row. Bot is going to recruit a specialist. Going to recruit this one and replace this shabby guy. I think it's my choice which one it gets replaced up there, but that's perfectly fine. No plans on buying any gear anymore. The new specialist is, I get a shell out of that. Yeah, that's okay. And it is used. All right, I got 2 moves left this round, and I'm going to take a risk. I want that adventure. Could get me another reputation point, but I'm going to risk it 1 turn because I end my game over there, and I don't want to end it too far away, so I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to try to beat this monster. I've beaten it once. How bad could it be the second time? Okay, number 2. I keep on rolling that too. All right, so that is down to 8. Restore 1. Well, this happens all simultaneously. So it's like I spend 1 mana for the 2 shield. It does 3 to me, and then I go ahead and restore that mana. That's fine. Let's try that again. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, down to 3. Down, so I was at 12, 8, now I'm down to 5. And whatever. So let's just go ahead and beat it. 1. Hey, I got a coin out of that. That's what I was looking for. But it does another 3 to me, and it is dead. I actually spend the mana that time. Once again, this is the monster. Probably the biggest monster going to beat this game. 2 villagers and an experience. So let's go ahead and grab that experience for my board. The 2 experiences are or 2 villagers are the 1 bottle imp that's left and a conch shell person. Hope I can get a gem person by the end of the game. All right, so this might not be good news. Exhaust specialist. Exhaust my leftmost specialist, which is the healer. Ah, no! I didn't want to take the search, but that was that was bad too. Thanks a lot, bot. So I did get the tax on it, which was 3. I'm going to use some of that tax. I'm going to spend 6. I'm going to do to it what it did to me. I'm going to flip this one over for 6 and get the full heal out of that. But before I do that, I'm going to spend that mana. I'm going to get a shell and 2 experience. That experience, I know exactly where that's going to go in a second. And then I use that specialist, which will get that mana back. Using that specialist got me a gem. That makes 3 gems. So then I would be able to sell that for 11. So not too bad of recovery there. And most importantly, I healed a full. And so because I was held up, it does pull the search token and it does discard the last token on the board. Future search tokens will just have them claim villagers directly and not search tokens. Wah, wah, wah. That's what I wanted to do with my last action of the turn. Oh well. All right, change of plans. We are going to sweep back across the entire land. I have 1 move for 4 left. I have +1 movement from one of my upgrades. So I'm moving at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can spend 2 hearts to extend the movement by 2. Any amount of movement that I extend it by, I spend that much in hearts. So let's go ahead and get a constellation prize. If I can't get the search token, I'm going to get an advanced monster. I can theoretically beat this thing in 2, but more likely I'm going to beat it in 3. We'll see. 4. Oh, come on. Roll the better stuff. Oh, man. So I'm going to have to hold back a little bit. I'm going to go 10. I'm going to use a mana to block that. That is not good news. So then we're going to go down to 8. Let's go ahead and roll that again. I really need a 7 this time. A 1 or a 3. A 2. Ugh. All right, that goes down to 5. Oh, that's not the worst thing in the world. And then it does 3 damage to me. And if I don't, I have to spend a mana to do that. So if I roll a 4, I'm screwed. But actually, I got the mana back for that, so don't even worry about that. So as long as I don't roll a 4. 3, good. So that actually is a block, and that's another one. So that's 3 block total. So it only does 2 damage to me, and I beat it. Thank goodness. Oh, that could have been terrible. So that is 2 villagers and a book. Those books are going to get used to cash in my final big quest, and I'm going to spend 2 experience right there to refill the row, and hopefully I can get some better these guys, because I already have 4 of them. Don't need more. So what do we got? We got a gem and a tool and more conch shells. Beautiful. That's actually worked out great for me. So let's go ahead and keep these 2. 1 tool is up there. 1 gem is right there. 3 sets. Yes. The bot exhausts one of their specialists. That's perfectly okay. All right, last thing I'm going to do, I don't need the experience anymore. Let's go ahead and turn that over and get a coin out of that. And the last card in a bot deck is Exhaust Specialist. Everybody's exhausted. Production phase. This should be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins. Right there. And we have shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. That's it? Oh, well, that's okay. So I got that up there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gems. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bottle imps. All right, so I'm at 3 health. I think that is the last of my fighting. I think I could do as much as I could do without fighting for this last round. Okay, so I'm going to use my lowest movement with the +1. We're going to get hit for 1. I'm down to 2. That's not a problem. I am at the Hermit's Hut. So at the Hermit's Hut, I am going to spend 2 of my book, bring me down to 1. That is... have at least 4 different villages that produce shells. I do. That is worth 8 points. That is going to get me some endgame scoring. Great. So then I don't need to rearrange things because everything is available. I'm going to get 1 shell, bringing me to 8 and 4 health, which is good because I plan on walking around a little bit, and I'm going to get dinged up. But that's okay. The bot is going to exhaust their leftmost specialist. That actually hurts because I really need to build this round. But what are you going to do? For my second action, I'm going to use my move 3, but I don't have to move that much. I'm going to move 1, 2, take a damage for moving through these monsters over here. And I get to turn in my quest at the Tower of Miners. So I'm going to spend 2 health, putting me down to 3. There's a minor quest, but this gem might come in handy for money purposes, and it gets me a point. So I now have a gem that brings me up to 6. That's really nice. Come on, baby. So this action says I can look at the top 2 and pick one, and if I can complete it, then I'll get the benefit. So 2 bottle imp and 3 tools, or 4 bottle imp. So we're going to get rid of 4 bottle imp. That is not my strength, and we're going to go ahead and turn that in right now. So then for the low cost of 2 bottle imp and 3 tools, I am going to get 19 coins and 2 points. Excellent. All right, so now that that's done, let's get it into these conversions. So we're going to spend 1, 2 of everything. Down to 4, down to 6. That gets me 24 coins because that's this twice. Let's go ahead and make some change. 24. I'm going to spend 4 down to 1 for 11 coins. Right there. And we are going to spend this twice. So that is 5. So that would get me another 10. Swooping that up, that gets me a total of 84 coins. I am not limited by coins. I am now limited by how many building actions that I can pull off. Let's go ahead and do that first. So we're going to go ahead and spend 4. I don't have too much left. Let's see if I can fill this all in. So I'm going to get a gem out of that. And so 4 plus 19. Let's go ahead and spend 23. 1, 2. Total for this one. That's probably the biggest point scorer in the game right now. And we're going to put that there. And we're going to get another gem out of that. And another book. So then attack. It is going to destroy the lowest monster, which is this one. It's going to get 2 villagers. Both villagers with conch shells. Enjoy, bot. So now I'm going to spend a total of 6, which is double this. And I'm going to acquire that, but I'm not going to acquire that. Don't worry about that. So then at 6, and then I'm going to spend 5 right here. So that's 11. I'm going to put it over here, 13. So that is 13 total. And we're going to go ahead and make some change from that. I am down to 30. I'm down to 45, 48. So I'm not too worried about it. It's just how I get in the actions. And that is going to be, that doesn't really do too much for me. It's just a little bit more points for the end of the game. All right, roll a die. I don't have to worry about that one too much. That is a 1. That will discard that one, which is tools. That's okay. All right, next up with my riches, I'm going to spend 10 on this one. And we're going to just get rid of it. We're going to go ahead and get that bottle imp moved on over there. And we are going to spend 23 total. So 10 and then 23. Got 10 2 5s and 3 1s. And we're going to put that one right there. That gets me 3 points for every gem that I produce. The end of the game, bam, making it happen. The bot, in response, searches and gets rid of a villager. Next thing I'm going to do is I have the 3 gems. I'm going to spend that and get another 11 because I'm actually running low on funds over here. Let's spend 10 on this creature right here, which is going to get me a tool. There we go. And there's none left over there, so I've really bought through that. And then 10 is going to be 24 total, which is this last building. I have completed the city, and I ended with 2 coins left. Yes! It searches, it takes away another villager, bringing in 6 more. We got some conch shells, and we got some bottle demon villagers. Thank you, bot. Going to use that. And I've been getting book from the purchase that I've been making, so I get to use that 1. And I get to acquire a bottle imp villager. That is not going to complete me a set, but now that I have this building 3 per, that's basically 3 points right there. I like it. And then for my last move of the game, going to go back to the Hermit's Hut. Going to take that damage. I'm down to 2, but who cares? And I'm going to cash this in. I'm going to spend my last books for guidance. I have at least 5 unspent experience that's been sitting in the whole time. That is worth 10 points. Just to make it official, the bot is going to recruit a specialist, but that doesn't matter because that is the end of the game. So here is my final scoring. So the way scoring works in Now or Never, you discard everything. If I wasn't afraid to use everything, discard all your coins, discard all your resources, etc. And then produce. And then cash in for coins, and the coins are worth your points. So then just in that process alone, I got basically 5 of everything between my villagers and what I was producing on the board. And that got me, with the conversions, 12 times 5 is 60. So that's 60 points right there. These are my points off of the cards. And then I got the row bonuses. So then I also got points for things that are on the board. So like this would be points for adjacent books. So there's 3 adjacent books, so that would be 9 points. And then other things, points per gems and points per tool, points off the cards, reputation. My final score, 195. Now that sounds a little bit strange, right? The book says 100 points is your threshold. How could I have almost doubled up the books? Well, I went onto the website. Ryan Lockett said, you know what, that's a little bit low. Go for 130. I went for 195, so I'm going to put down the gauntlet to anybody who's playing Now or Never solo. 195 is your score to beat. If you can't beat that, then you've lost the game. So, I mean, I've played a bunch of Near and Far, and I've played a bunch of these kind of medium weight Euro games. It's kind of my one of my real jams is this kind of game. So I think I did pretty good. I'm sure other people have done better, 200 plus. So let me know in the comments below. How did you enjoy Now or Never? How did you score? All that good stuff. This is the One Stop Co-op Shop. It was my absolute pleasure to bring you this playthrough. This is Jason reminding you that we will see you at the next stop.